I want to enlarge this shape by a scale factor of 2. That's my center of enlargement. And I'm going to enlarge the shape. So this is how I do it. This one way of doing it is like this. Just use a pencil just in case you make mistakes and rub it out. I'm going to count from my center of enlargement to each and every corner one at a time. So let's choose one. I'm going to count to this one. I'm going to go to this one. So from my center of enlargement to this point, that's 1 to the right and 2 squares up. Okay, just a reminder, 1 to the right and then 2 squares up. But my scale factor is 2. So I'm going to double these numbers. I'm going to times these numbers by the 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2, 4. So that means I'm going to go 2 to the right, 4 up from the center of enlargement. So that's 2 to the right and then 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. So that one I've done. Next, what shall I do? Do that one. I'm going to count from my center of enlargement to that point there. That's 3 squares to the right, 2 up. 3 squares to the right, 2 up. So now I'm going to double these numbers. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 2, 4. So I'm going to count 6 squares to the right, 4 squares up. 6 squares to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 squares to the right and then 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one I've done. There's only one left. I'm going to count from here to here. That's 1 square to the right and 5 squares up. 1 to the right, 5 squares up. Times them by 2. Times that by 2. So that's going to be 2 squares to the right, 10 squares up. 2 squares to the right, 10 squares up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right there. All I have to do now is join these dots. Each of the sides should be twice as big. I might be asked to do a scale factor of 3. If it was a scale factor of 3, would have had to multiply the numbers that I just crossed out by 3. Sometimes it could give you a scale factor of 1.5, which means I'd have to multiply those numbers by 1.5. But what if it's a negative number? Let's suppose the scale factor now is, I'll use -2. It does mean that the sides are going to be twice as big, but in the opposite direction. So ignore this one now, ignore. I'm going to go back to this red one here. I'm going to increase this red one by a scale factor of -2. So here we go, start counting. That's 1 to the right, 2 up. 1 to the right, 2 up. But now I'm going to double these numbers. But because it's a negative, the arrow is going to flip the other way. Not going up, it's going to go down. So that will be 2 to the left, 4 down. 2 to the left, 4 down. From the center of enlargement, 2 to the left, 4 down. So that one's done. Next, I'll counter this one. That's 3 to the right, 2 up. 3. And then 2 up. Double these. So that'll be 6 and that'll be 4. It's just same numbers as I had here, to be honest. So that'll be, because it's a negative number, the arrows will go the other way, in the opposite direction. That'll be 6 to the left, 4 down. From the center of enlargement, 6 to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. So that one's done. And there's only one left. From here to here is 2 to the right, 10, it's 2 to the, from here to here it's 1 to the right, 5 up. 1 to the right, 5 up. Double these. Flip the arrows because it's negative. That'll be 2 to the left, 10 down. 2 to the left, from the center of enlargement, 2, okay, don't start counting from these, I almost did, 2 to the left, 1, 2 to the left, and then 10 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All you need to do now is join them up. That's it. I have it. You could get a scale factor of -1. All you'd have to do, so for example, from here to here, it's 1 to the right, 2 up, 1 to the right, 2 up. But if you multiply by 1, the numbers don't change. It's just the arrows that change direction. So that'll be 1 to the left, 2 down, 1 to the left, 2 down. So basically it'll be the same shape, same size, it will be upside down, somewhere over here. One thing you probably notice is, okay, this is not necessary to do in the exam for this question, but if I was to join the tops of the triangle, like so, and these bottom corners, and then those corners over here, all these rays go through the center of enlargement. If I was to extend these lines, let's see what happens. Look, it meets these corners, meets the corner, and obviously this one will meet this corner. If you were given a shape such as this in the exam, and both these shapes, and they asked you, well, what kind of transformation does it take you to get from this shape to this shape? Well, obviously it's an enlargement. Going from this shape, the red one, to this one, it's an enlargement. So you draw the rays, and you can find the center of enlargement. And usually that'll be a coordinate, right? I haven't got the axes for this, but then you'd have to specify the coordinates. You'd have to say what the scale factor is, how many times bigger this is compared to this. Obviously, pick one of the sides. You pick one of the sides, you can tell this is twice as big as this. You say mention the center of enlargement and the fact that it is an enlargement.